Welcome back to my PC build series. Today we are not installing anything yet. I know, I went too also, but this step is really important because today is all about prepping. Yay! Your tools, your workspace, your anti-static safety, if you do so, and how to set yourself up so that this build goes smoothly instead of turning into like a 3-hour stress spiral with mystery screws laying in your carpet. That's happened to me before. What's up, s'mores? I'm Shannon Morse, and this is episode 2 in my mini-series. In the last episode, we walked through all the parts, all the components in this very stacked creator PC build, and we talked about what each of those components actually does. If you are a first-time PC builder, this video series is gonna save you a ton of headaches. So why does prepping matter? Well, PC building in itself is not too hard, but it is detail oriented. Most beginner mistakes happen because people try to rush through it. You skip the manual. That's me. I always skip the manual. Or you build on a bad surface, or you don't organize your parts. Think of it kind of like cooking. Good chefs prepare their ingredients before turning on the stove, and we're doing the same thing here, except we're not trying to fry anything. All right, let's get started with your workspace. So you want a surface that is going to be flat, stable, well lit, and not covered in any kind of carpet fuzz or cat hair. When I was little, I would build our family PCs on our dining room table, but now I'm building in my studio. So best options would be something like a wooden desk, a table, a workbench, something like that. Try to avoid building directly on a carpet if you can. Carpets increase static risk, and they can also eat screws like a little gremlin. Or if you have animals like I do, I have cats, they might try to steal things that are on the floor. Or if you have dogs, they might try to eat things. So I prefer building on a table. Lighting also matters more than people expect. You are going to be reading tiny labels on the motherboard and matching tiny connectors. If your lighting is bad, it's gonna be hard to see stuff. I also like to keep a small tray or a bowl for screws, or an iFixit toolkit that has a magnetic container and space to lay the motherboard box flat, because we will be using that as a safe working surface. Now let's get to the tools that you will actually need. So the good news here is you actually don't need a giant toolbox. So here's my list. I will link my favorite parts down below as well. The number 1 most important tool will be a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, and your nice to haves will be a smaller Phillips screwdriver for your M.2 screws. A magnetic screwdriver tip is a lifesaver. Some zip ties or even some Velcro straps for cable management. I have a whole bunch of these laying around. I just bought like a bulk supply off Amazon at one point, and I've been going through them for the last 10 years. Also having some zip ties around. These are actually zip ties that I had from an older build, and I just kept them for forever, so I still have some left. And you probably also want some scissors or flush cutters for trimming ties, and also for opening anything that you might need to open. Optionally, but helpful, would be your anti-static wrist strap. Also, a small flashlight or a headlamp can also be really, really helpful. Tweezers are also really useful for tiny front panel connectors if your fingers get achy. These are actually really helpful too if you drop like a screw near your motherboard. That way you can easily pick it up without messing up anything on the motherboard. I also keep tape around in case I want to tape down any extra screws or tape down any cables before I'm ready to zip tie them. I have tape around. And I think that's going to be it. Now my pro tip here is just to buy the iFixit ProTech toolkit. That's what I have laying out right here. iFixit. This has everything you need except for the zip ties. There's even an anti-static wristband in here, and there are tweezers right here. There's even little pull tabs that you can use for pulling things up. I've had my toolkit for years and years. I use it for every single build I do, and it also comes in handy around the house and when I'm upgrading components in laptops. This thing is my gold standard. It comes with every single bit that I would ever need. No sponsorship here. I just cannot recommend iFixit enough. Buy one, you will not be sorry. This thing is a holy grail for nerds. I love this thing. Now, if you're finding this video helpful, a subscribe would mean so much to me. Subscribing is a very simple way of showing me which videos you find helpful and valuable, and it tells me which direction I should take my channel in. Do you like PC builds? Do you want to see more in this kind of series of videos? Let me know. I would love to review PC components. I think that would be awesome on this channel. So let me know if that's something that you want to see by subscribing from this video. Also, a big Patreon shout out to my s'mores supporters. You can join them and support my channel by going over to patreon.com/ShannonMorse for perks like early video access and our private Discord. As usual, all the videos on my channel are free to watch, and I thank my YouTube members and my patrons for making that possible. Let's talk about static electricity, because this is the part that kind of scares people. Yes, static discharge can damage components. No, you do not need to live inside a laboratory bubble in order to build a computer. I have shocked my current PC, the one that is currently on and running. It is fine. Colorado is dry. Everything makes sparks in my house, including just like petting my cat. I can make sparks happen when I do that. Simple rules: don't shuffle around on carpet in wool socks or in socks in general before touching components. Touch something metal and grounded like your PC case or a power supply housing. Handle parts by the edges, not the gold contacts or pins. Don't rub components on fabric. Don't do that. Why would you ever do that? I hope you're not doing that. Don't rub components on anything, really. And if you have an anti-static wrist strap, you can clip it onto the case with its little clippy at the end. Totally fine, not required, but good for peace of mind. I've actually built many systems with just basic grounding habits and zero issues. To be honest, I don't wear the wristband. I really don't. I'm gonna tell you that you should, but I don't do it. I will do it for the internet so people don't cancel me in the comments, but I don't wear it whenever I build PCs. I'm sorry. I know it's recommended. I know you should, but it's there if you need it. And if you're worried about building your computer, you can use this. Let's talk about how to unbox without making a huge disaster pile. Do not open everything at once. I know you're gonna have a lot of boxes. It feels like Christmas. It's really fun. The smell is great. I know it smells good. These components smell good. I don't know why I think components for a PC smell good. I just do. I think it just brings back that nostalgia from Incredible Universe. That store was so freaking cool when I was a kid. But anyway, keep your things in boxes until you're ready for them. Open your stuff in phases. Start with the case, the motherboard, the CPU, then your RAM, then your storage, then your cooler. Or if you have a preference in terms of like how you want to build, you can always switch that up too. Leave things like the GPU in the box until you actually need them. Graphics cards are really big and they're really heavy, and I'm kind of clumsy. I don't want to drop my graphics card on my motherboard. I don't want to run that risk, so I'm going to leave it in the box until I'm ready to actually install it. Keep accessories and screws with their original boxes and bags until used. Manufacturers love including tiny little labeled bags that are actually pretty helpful. The tape is handy here if you don't want to use all the screws or if you don't need to. You can tape a little bag shut if it doesn't have a little lock, like a zip lock at the top of it. You can tape them shut so you have the spares. Another pro tip here, and I highly recommend doing this, and I've done this for every single build I've done. Keep your motherboard box. We're gonna use this as a padded work surface whenever installing the CPU, the RAM, and the SSDs. Also, the motherboard box can double as storage for your build, and you can write your build name in Sharpie on the box so you know where all your spare components are. I still have the motherboard boxes for like 3 of my past builds with a bunch of spare cables and screws, even RAM. When I've upgraded, I have spare RAM in those boxes. So like keep those motherboard boxes around. They make good storage. And some people aren't gonna like this part, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Read the motherboard manual and the manual for your case for the big tower. I know nobody wants to read the manual, just read it anyway. The motherboard manual will tell you which RAM slots to use first, very important, where the M.2 slots are, especially useful nowadays because they're kind of hidden underneath thermal like panels, where the front panel headers are, which fan headers are which, and where the pump header is for your all-in-one, your AIO, your liquid cooler. This is gonna save so much guessing in the long run. Back in my day, I never read the manual for PCs, but they've gotten a lot more complicated in recent years, and the little header pins are such a pain screen in the A, so I at least flip through it so I know the basics of like where everything's gonna go. Okay, onto the case prep and the airflow planning. Before installing anything, open up your case, take off both side panels and the front panel if it's removable, find the accessories box inside. That's usually gonna include your screws, your standoffs, some cable ties, and check your fan layout. Quick airflow basics here. The front and the bottom are usually gonna be your intake, and the rear and the top are usually gonna be exhaust. Air should move in one direction through the case. Manufacturer websites usually have diagrams showing the airflow too, so you can use that as a pro tip. Since this build has multiple ARGB fans, we will map intake fans, exhaust fans, and the radiator placement. We will install these in a later episode, but planning now prevents redoing everything later. And then we have some cable staging. Now, if you are using a modular power supply like the one I have here, do not plug in every single cable right away. Instead, set aside the PSU cables, separate them by label, motherboard, CPU power, GPU power, and SATA power. We will only install the ones that we need when we need them. Less clutter equals less confusion. It'll make everything much more tidy. And with that, our workspace is ready. So tools are ready, the parts are staged, we're ready to go. In the next video, we are finally going to start installing components on the motherboard, and I am so stoked. I can't wait to start this build. Once you get the build process started, everything else goes pretty quick. So we're gonna do CPU, RAM, NVMe SSDs. If you're building along with me, comment below, tell me which part of the build you're most nervous about, and I will make sure that we slow that part down on camera so that you can get a really good step-by-step. And a huge thank you to Asus and Kingston for providing some of the components for this build. I have linked my specific parts down below. I have a PC part picker list so you can actually see every single part as well in case you want to do a similar setup. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, and I will see you in the installation. Yay! Bye, y'all.